next thing I think Google does extremely well, and I've been in business for 20 years now, I have never seen any other company do it anywhere even close to Google, which is why I probably, when people ask me what's my career goal, I really mean it when I say this. My career goal is to retire at Google. It is the best company I've ever worked with. Why? Mission. Every employee has a voice. And that's, I think, a critical element in leadership and innovation, because it's not, innovation isn't happening in some department called the innovation department at Google. There's no chief innovation officer at Google. All of us are chief innovation officers. And we believe every day that each one of us has a voice in shaping where the company will go. That doesn't mean we don't have managers and HR policies and all of that stuff. But at the core, we are all given a voice. And it matters. I have been in meetings where individual contributors that are 2 years out of college have presented to senior leaders, including Larry and Eric Schmidt and Sergey, and there are a lot of other senior people in the room with big titles, and this individual contributor can hold the meeting and get everybody on the same page, because everyone has a voice. And what gives us that voice? Data over opinions. I think if you want to innovate in this day and age, where things are moving so fast, you have to rely on data. And there are many ways to do it. Fast prototyping is one, there are others. But don't let opinions decide where you go. Because what organizations tend to do is, the more senior you are, your opinions tend to get more weight. That doesn't necessarily mean they're correct. So we always let data drive our decisions at Google, for the most part. To a great extent, I'm sure opinions get in the way, but for the most part, we're a data-driven company. So voice is the second one. The third one that I think is a model for all organizations: mission, give everyone a voice, and the third one is transparency. Google is, for its employees, and I know people from the outside may or may not share this belief because they're looking at Google as a company, as a service provider. But as an employee, Google is the most transparent company I've ever heard of, worked at, known about. Every quarter, and I want you to think about your companies, every quarter, Eric Schmidt, our chairman, shares the presentation that he delivers to the board of directors of Google to every employee at Google. How many of you can go back and say your board of directors, your chairman does this at your company? Every quarter. It's confidential, so if you share it with somebody else, I'm sure there are consequences. But we trust our people, and it's such a transparent company. Every week on Friday, Eric, Larry, Sergey, and whoever in the senior management team is available have open meeting with everyone in the company. You can come and ask them any question you want. And I have seen and sat there where some very, very uncomfortable questions were asked. Two things happened. The questions were answered by Larry or Sergey or Eric or whoever else to the best extent possible, very transparently. And B, more important, there was no punishment for the employee for asking an uncomfortable question. And there have been some very difficult questions that have been asked about strategy, about why Google's not doing this or why Google's doing that. And every question is you know, it's open mic. And I think that creates a level of trust, which is what I think is really important in order to build a company of leaders.